very good afternoon to all. Yes, so let's start with the new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Beginning of the Settled Life. Okay, so yes, a very good afternoon to all. Yes, let's understand things. Let's start from the introduction part. Okay. Yes, let's start from
Chapter
introduction.
8 Beginning of Settled Life. We shall learn about following points in this chapter.
Let's understand what are the
Beginning
things
of
that we are going to
domestication
study.
of animals and agriculture. Special skills and various occupations. Community life based on mutual cooperation. Structure of houses and village settlement, kinship and family.
Yes, so we are going to study about all this thing in this chapter. Okay, now let's understand.
Domestication of animals.
Now, what do you mean by domestication?
Domesticated animals
Basically,
like the dog, goat,
hmm,
sheep, cattle, buffalo, etc. are useful to man in many ways.
domestication means a particular कोई भी animal, like any of the animal that can be domesticated, that can be made use of. मतलब अगर कोई animal है और उसका अगर हमने use, if we are using that animal for different purposes, so we say that the animal has been domesticated. So जब ये start हुआ, ये evolution start हुआ, तब domestication, the beginning of the settled life, how did we start with domestication animal? Which was the first animal to be domesticated? Okay, we will study that. Okay, yes. Hello everyone. Pay attention.
There are three main steps in the domestication of a species of any animal. 1. Capture of the wild animals. 2. Taming the captured animals, that is, training them to live with humans. 3. Obtaining useful materials like milk, etc. from them and training them to work for humans as beasts of burden.
Yes. Fine. So basically, what we have to do,
Beasts
let's
of
understand.
burden means these are animals such as mules or donkeys that are used for carrying loads.
Yes. So basically, we whenever we have to domesticate an animal, तो बहुत सारे तीन steps है. First of which we have to capture, we have to hunt the. मतलब basically we have to capture that animal, then we have to tame that animal to live with humans क्योंकि वो पहले wild में थे, like they used to live anyway. So now we have to उनको जो उनका जो lifestyle है, we have to make it accordingly that they can start living it with the human beings. ठीक है? And finally we can get the useful materials from such of the animals, like कोई भी काम करने के लिए we can utilize them, or any kind of things we can utilize from them. Okay, let's understand.
When the third step is achieved, the animal is supposed to be completely domesticated. Domesticating animals and keeping them for our own use is called animal husbandry.
Yes, so when we are domesticating an animal, so we are making an animal to live along with us, or उनमें से we get all the things, useful things, if we try to get it from them. So this is called as the animal husbandry. So like, again understand, domesticating the animals and keeping them for our own use. कोई भी खुद के use के लिए if we are keeping the animals, this is called as the animal husbandry.
Animal
Yes.
husbandry means domesticating animals. In the 6th lesson, we have seen that the dog was domesticated in the Middle Stone Age.
Yes, so dog is the animal which was domesticated in the Middle Stone Age, as we have the early Stone Age, Middle Stone Age and the final Stone Age. तो उसका जो Middle Stone Age है, New Stone Age, तो उस time पे dog was been domesticated.
The dog is the first animal to have been domesticated.
Yes, everyone should understand this. The first animal to be domesticated and the name is dog. Yes, you're correct, Arya. It's correct.
Dogs were used to help with hunting. The goat and sheep were domesticated next. Agriculture.
Now let's understand about agriculture.
Archaeological evidence is available to show that agriculture first began about 11,000 years ago in Israel and Iraq, where evidence means proof.
Yes, so proof says that the first place where agriculture began was in Israel and Iraq, and where it was about 11,000 years ago. So everyone should understand this. 11,000 years ago, agriculture first began and it started from Israel and Iraq. Okay, pay attention.
Women are credited to have started cultivation. They might have used pointed sticks to sow seeds. Women in some tribes still sow seeds by this method.
There are different method according to which we sow the seeds. So एक type का method वो भी था कि like pointed sticks are used for sowing the sticks. Okay, and still अभी भी same type of cultivation has been used. Same type of method has been used.
In order to help dig deeper into the soil, the stick was weighted using a perforated stone, where perforated stone means rough stone. In the previous lesson, we have learnt that people had to stay in one place because of the nature of agricultural work.
Yes, so what we have studied कि पहले के टाइम के लोग what they did was they stopped wandering from one place to other. एक जगह से दूसरे जगह जाना उन्होंने stop कर दिया था. Rather what they were staying together और एक ही piece of land पे again and again every year after one after the other they were utilizing or cultivating in that field. Okay, so we have studied that people had to stay in one place because of the agriculture work. Agriculture work की वजह से they started staying there.
Agricultural production increased considerably after the plough pulled by animals came into use.
Yes.
Agriculture became the main source of livelihood.
Now, as we have studied earlier, that first thing that people were dependent on was hunting, and after that only they can have food. But after that, they shifted on towards the fruits, plant-based foods like fruits, then vegetables, roots, and everything. Uske baad, what they did was they started building the interest in agriculture. They started growing different grains and everything, and all the cultivation part started. Okay, so agriculture became the main source of livelihood. So this is the important. Agriculture became the first source of livelihood. Now next one.
Now people began to worship nature and various deities for good crops, where worship means to pray.
Yes. So now people they started believing in nature. They started believing in different like worship. Worship is basically to pray. They started praying the nature for the growing good crops, key crops cultivation as agriculture. Became the main livelihood. So agriculturally you need a proper climate. Agriculturally you need a proper what we can say rainfall and everything. So ये सब चीजों के लिए they started what we can say, they started paying offerings to the nature. They started worshipping the nature.
Essential things like sharing of agricultural tasks and water resources and the security of the village settlement gained importance. Where task means work, where security means safety, people in the village settlements established some rules and customs to manage these things.
Yes. So now as everyone was trying to live in a proper settlement as in एक साथ रहने का कोशिश कर रहे थे. So what they did was what they decided कि हम कुछ rules and regulations we will keep, some rules and customs we will be keep according to which things can be managed properly. So people in the village settlement started establishing some rules and customs to manage all these things. Okay, fine. Now let's understand.
Thus, a social system based on agriculture came into existence.
Yes. So basically agriculture, see as can you see agriculture part came into an existence. So proper agriculture everything everyone was doing.
Special skills and various occupations.
Now let's understand what are the special
In the times
skills.
before agriculture, people obtained food such as meat, fruits, and roots by hunting and gathering, but could not store it for a long time. Therefore, all the men and women in the community were continuously engaged in getting food.
Yes, so as we know that the main thing for living is the food. So for daily basis pe what they have to do is they have to worry about the food. So daily basis pe they used to go somewhere, hunt someone, like hunt some animal. Then they used to wander from one place to other. यहाँ वहाँ जाते थे in the search of roots, in the search of fruits, in the search of different types of vegetables and everything. So daily basis pe they used to be engaged. They were totally engaged in continuously getting the food. Okay. Yes, please pay
Where
attention.
engaged means busy, in the agricultural system, it became possible to store food grains for long periods.
Yes, so now when they started doing the agriculture, the first beneficial part was कि agriculture करने के बाद even when they get the grains, different types of grains from the agriculture, they were able to store it. उनको वहाँ पे properly storage का possibilities था.
There was more food available than was needed by the community. Some women and men thus began to get spare time for experimentation and for using their natural creativity to develop special skills.
Yes, so now as they were having a spare time, मतलब बोल सकते हैं ना कि जैसे free time था, तो उस free time पे, in spite of thinking about the hunting and everything and gathering of things, what they started was they started experimenting about the natural creativity, different जो creativity है, different जो skills है, उसको develop करने में they got busy in doing all these things. Okay.
Members with such special skills were given work based on those skills.
Now, those who were having the special skills in doing all this thing like making the utensils, making the weapons, making the fabrics, making the different ornaments, तो उनको various different types की वैसे activity दिए गए थे. Okay?
Thus arose crafts like making earthen pots, beads, etc., where arose means started.
So this is how developing different things and everything started. Okay? So like different. Yes. So from those crafts like making earthen pots, beads, ये सब चीजें क्या हो गए? Start हो गए. Okay? Next
It
one.
is believed that in the New Stone Age, women made earthen pots and other earthen objects
By hand. Okay, so all the earthen pots and all the other equipments required for cooking and everything was been made with the help of the hands. Nothing such of the wheels और ये सब चीजों का तभी use नहीं था. Okay, हाँ, next one.
Community life based on mutual cooperation. The farmers in the village settlement were now producing surplus food, where surplus means
In a large amount.
amount. They needed skilled craftsmen for tasks like making agricultural implements and repairing them, where
Yes.
skilled craftsman means a trained or expert worker who makes implements and tools.
Yes, so now what they were in search of now the grains was being created in a very large quantity and they were also being stored. Okay, the grains can be stored for a longer period of time. So the issue regarding the storage of the food and something like that was not a big issue. तो उन लोग स्टोर वोर करके प्रॉपर्ली रख रहे थे. Now the main concern was कि अब जो what we can say एग्रीकल्चर के लिए जो प्लाविंग का या कोई भी फार्मिंग का एनी काइंड ऑफ जो what we can say इम्प्लीमेंट्स चाहिए या फिर एग्रीकल्चर के लिए कुछ भी रिक्वायर्ड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स या इम्प्लीमेंट्स चाहिए तो उसको बनाने में और इफ बनाया हुआ है तो उसको रिपेयर करने के लिए दे नीडेड अ स्किल craftsman. Now, what is the meaning of skill craftsman? A trained or the expert workers who make implements and tools. So, ये tools and implements बनाने के लिए they needed a particular craftsman. Okay, now understand this thing.
Such craftsmen were paid in the form of food grains or other articles.
Yes. So agar देखो for example some of them were knowing how to make some of them were very okay with how to do the what we can say grains and everything, and some were busy and some were very much skilled in making the tools and implements. So what they used to do is they was only वो बोलते हैं ना perfectly concentrate कर रहे थे कि I will be making all the tools and implements and such like that. तो from where they will get the food, so they used to exchange it कि हम आपको repair करके देंगे, you give us food, या you give us earthen pots and something like that. Okay.
The craftsmen needed to obtain their raw material from long distances. The price of this raw material was also paid in the form of food grains, articles, etc. Thus, the barter system of buying and selling was established.
Yes, so they started establishing the barter system according to which अगर आपने हमको grain दिया तो what we will give you is we will be giving you the different tools and different equipments required for agriculture. तो agriculture के related जो भी different tools है या जो भी different implementations है we will be providing you. So in that case what you will give us, so we will be giving you the food grain. So this is how the barter system started.
Where barter system means an old method of exchange of
Exchanging things
things.
basically.
The barter system also began to be used when there was a need to obtain raw materials, finished objects, other articles of daily use, etc., from other places.
Yes. So now initially it was just like कि equipments कोई भी tools और implements को proper बनाने के लिए they used to follow the barter system. But now they were so much into this barter system that what they started was they started making the articles of daily use या कोई भी finished products या कोई भी raw material, any kind of thing if you want to exchange we will start exchanging it with the barter system. So they started with the barter system. Okay.
Salt is an essential item. Most of the village settlements needed to obtain it from faraway places. Salt traders also traded articles they received in exchange of salt. The salt trade helped the expansion of trade in the New Stone Age. The village community made rules for mutual cooperation in order to keep the system of trade and distribution of resources, where resources means water, food, land, etc., running smoothly.
Yes. So the whole village community started making the rules for mutual cooperation in order to keep the system of trade and the distribution of all the things running smoothly. So they all maintained a particular rules and regulations and everything so that all the things are running smoothly और जो भी exchange of food है या जो भी है वो क्या होगा एकदम properly work होगा. Okay. Now next one.
People responsible for the implementation of these rules became the chiefs of village settlements.
Yes. So now for those people who used to take the initiative in maintaining all these things possible running smoothly, या कोई अगर बोलता है कि yes I am responsible, okay you do this thing या you do this thing, so basically any of the person who came forward and tried to maintain all this thing became responsible for implementing this rule. तो ये पूरा rules को implement करने के लिए he became responsible. Okay, and he became the chief of the whole village settlement.
The chiefs were also entrusted, where entrusted means given the responsibility for doing something with the protection of the village. This is how the village administrative system came into being.
Yes. So basically, from among all, a chief has been appointed, like who will be paying attention towards everything. Like वो हर चीज को properly संभालेगा. If there is something going wrong, then he is a person to interfere. He is responsible for everything, all the administration of the village. So this is how the village administration came into existence. तो यहाँ से पूरे village का कोई एक person responsible है. Then he will be deciding what is right and what is wrong for the system and everything and everything. So this is how the village administration system came into existence.
Evidence of protective walls and moats where moat is a deep, wide ditch filled with water for safety around the village settlements of the New Stone Age, has been found in excavations, where excavations means archaeological findings.
Yes. So can you see this? See, can you see the walls being built for the protection purpose? Like safety purpose के लिए walls built किया था. Inside that you had the water filled. Okay, it's a waterproof filled था for the safety purpose, and then after that you have the whole village settlements. So all these things were did for the protection method कि properly कोई भी type का like protective to be stay protected from all these things. So this kind of things were being made.
These walls were built to protect the village settlements
See, can you see this? See the walls and then this, and inside you have all the settlements done properly.
from floods, wild animals, and outsiders who stole the village cattle.
Yes. So the motive behind building this walls is not for the single purpose. Rather, there was n number of reasons. So first is to protect the village from the flood. तो अगर कोई भी टाइप का वाटर अटैक लाइक फ्लड या नेचुरल कैलामिटीज बेसिकली तो फ्लड या कुछ होता है तो योर विलेज विल बी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड इट विल स्टे सेफ. देन नेक्स्ट वन इज द वाइल्ड एनिमल्स. यू हैव अ वेरी मच लाइक व्हाट वी कैन से डेंजर फ्रॉम द वाइल्ड एनिमल, तो उस चीज को भी दूर रखने के लिए दे स्टार्टेड बिल्डिंग अ प्रोटेक्टिव वॉल अराउंड इट, एंड ऑल्सो टू protect the cattle from the outsiders who stole the village cattle. तो ये village cattle को भी protect करने के लिए they had started building the walls.
Structure of houses. The houses at the beginning of the New Stone Age were made of wattle and daub, where wattle and daub means walls made of sticks and mud.
Yes, at the initially this houses, can you see the houses? See houses made at the New Stone Age period. They were made from the wattles and the daub. Now what are the wattles and the daub? Basically they made use of the stick. तो sticks लगा के उसके आजू बाजू जो mud है वो mud से set पूरा करके they used to make the walls of such kind of houses. Okay? Yes.
The walls were screens woven from sticks or bamboo, plastered with mud or cow dung.
So they used to plaster it with, first they used to put a stick for their purpose and then they used to plaster it with, that is they used to fill it with, to make a wall they used to fill it with the mud or the cow dungs. Okay, yes, please pay attention.
Later, the population of the village settlements grew because food was available in plenty. The village settlements became permanent and expanded. Still later, people began to build quadrangular houses of sun-dried bricks.
So after that they started using the sun-dried bricks. So basically bricks which we use, like पता होगा ना bricks, तो उस bricks से they started making the houses. Okay.
Some houses appear to have had more than one room. The houses were built very close to each other. Regional differences are seen in the styles of constructing houses depending on the local climate.
Yes, now depending upon the climate, you will find different types of houses. Now, in order to be suitable, वो जहाँ का जो आजू-बाजू climate होगा, उसको suitable रखने के लिए, उसके आजू-बाजू के temperature या climatic condition के according, they started building the house. For example, if a place where it is extremely hot, they started making use of the materials which will keep the house cool. If a particular place है जहाँ पे extremely cold, so they will start building the houses in order that the अंदर का जो climate होगा, that would be more preferable for the body temperature, and अगर normal होगा तो it is a normal things which they were using. Okay, now let's understand the next thing.
Village settlement, kinship, and family. It appears from the plans of the houses and the village settlements that people staying there belong to a single clan, where
Yes.
clan means a large family.
Yes. So when the people staying together, it appears that the plan of the houses and the village settlement, एक proper एक village अगर settlement देखा जाए, so that people staying there belongs to a single family. So it used to understand that all the people staying here are like a family. Okay, they started preparing a clan. Clan means a group, basically a large family. Okay.
It means that they were all related to one another.
So they were all ready to one another in some or
Thus,
the other
the
way.
entire village settlement was an extended family. People living in one house were close relations, but they were also members of the extended village family.
Yes. So people living in one house they were एकदम close बोलते ना कि बहुत ज़्यादा एक दूसरे के साथ वो close थे, they were having a close relation, but same time they were also in touch with, or they were also having some of the other relationship with the extended village family. तो पूरा जो village था उसके साथ जो extended family है उसके साथ भी they had some of the other relation.
A dead person was buried either in the house or in the courtyard, where courtyard is an unroofed open area.
Yes. So a dead person was buried either in the house, या तो वो house में ही bury किया जाता था, या फिर एक courtyard में, courtyard as in unroofed open area near the river or something like that, unroofed area के यहाँ पे वो bury किया जाता था. Okay.
Perhaps the idea was that the person's bond with the family should not get cut off even after death.
Okay, so the basic logic or the idea behind this was burying a person inside the house itself means that his bond with the other family members should not get off. इसलिए they used to bury within the house only.
Families would also bury various articles with the dead person for them to use even after death.
Exercises. Question.
Yes. So now let's understand the exercises. I want everyone to answer it properly. Yes, let's see how many of you can get the right answers.
1. Fill in the blanks. 1. Archaeological evidence shows that agriculture first began about 11,000 years ago in Israel and
And yes, let's see who
Iran,
get.
Iraq, Dubai.
Let's see who
Answer.
gets the right answer.
Archaeological evidence shows that agriculture first began about 11,000 years ago
In Israel and
Iraq.
Iraq. Iraq is the right answer. Very good.
The
Everybody
houses
start
at the
giving the
beginning of the
answers.
New Stone Age were made of dash, earth, bricks, wattle,
And dog.
daub.
Yes, let's see who. How many of you get the right answer? The houses. Very good, Priya. Very good. The houses at the beginning of the New Stone Age were made of wattle and dung. Okay, let's understand.
Answer. The houses at the beginning of the New Stone Age were made of wattle and daub. Question 2. Answer the following questions in brief.
Let's understand the question.
1. What are the 3 main steps in the process of domesticating a wild animal?
When you want to domesticate a wild animal, what all
1.
things were required?
Capture the wild
Capturing.
animal. 2. Taming the wild animal by giving the training to live with humans. 3. Obtaining useful materials like milk from these animals and training them to work as beasts of burden for the humans. 2. How did some people in the community become skilled craftsmen?
Yes, let's understand
Answer.
this.
1. As the food available was more than needed by community, some men and women utilized their spare time in experimentation and for
Yes, so
using their
as we have
natural
studied
creativity
that
to develop special skills.
as they had already made all the food and everything available, so they had much more time and now they were utilizing this time for experimenting different natural activities. Very good, very good. Pay attention.
2. Persons with such special skills were given work based at those skills. 3. Thereby, a class of skilled craftsmen emerged.
Okay, so the whole class of the skilled craftsmen came into existence. So they used to pay attention only for making things possible rather than doing the agriculture part.
Question 3. Complete the following concept chart.
Yes, let's understand
Answer.
this.
Salt is an essential commodity. It was obtained by traders from faraway places. Salt was exchanged with other commodities. This resulted in expansion of
Of
trade.
the trade.
Question 4. Write about the usefulness of any 5 domesticated animals.
Now you
Answer.
can give answer of any
1. Cow.
cow is a
Cow is a milch animal that gives milk and milk products. Cow dung is a traditional source of energy. 2. Bullock. Bullock is useful for agricultural operations. Bullock cart is a means of transportation. 3. Horse. Horse is attached to chariot and is a means of transportation. Soldiers used to mount on horses during war times. 4. Sheep. Sheep gives wool and it is used to make woolen clothing. Its meat is consumed by the non-vegetarians. 5. Dog. Dog serves as a watch guard and protects our house. It barks at the outsiders and thereby warns us of danger. Dogs are also useful in police investigations.
yes. So these are all the 5 usefuls of the domesticated animals. Okay. Now
Question
let's
5.
understand next one.
Which animals is used by the modern police?
In which
what
way?
way? Answer. 1. Dog is used by modern police. 2. It is used in investigation of crimes as dog can sniff the body odor and blood stains on the clothes. It leads police to the person who has committed heinous crimes like murder.
Fine. So I hope everybody understood the things. Yes, let's start with the objective test. Fill in the blanks by clicking the correct options. Dash means domesticating animals and keeping them for the own use. As we know, animal husbandry is the right answer. Yes. Now let's move on to the next one. Archaeological evidence is available to show that agriculture first began about 11,000 years ago in which of the countries? Iran and Iraq, India and Israel, Israel and Iraq. Yes, let's see. Israel and Iraq is the right answer. Yes, very good. Dash became the main source of livelihood. Agriculture, domesticating animals and hunting of the animals. Let's understand agriculture. Very good, very good. Now the next one. The houses at the beginning of the new Stone Age were made of what? Made of double and vault. The dash trade helped the expansion of trade in the new Stone Age, which the salt one. Very good. True or false? The houses in the new Stone Age were built very close to each other. Is the answer correct? Yes, true. Now next one. Women are credited to have started. Yes, it is. It is true. The dog is the first animal to have been domesticated. Yes, it is true. Dog is the first animal to have been domesticated. Now let's move on to the next one. In New Stone Age, there are barter system of buying and selling. Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. It is true. A dead person was buried in the courtyard of the house. Is it correct? Wrong. He was buried in the house and the outside in the open area. In New Stone Age, administrative system came into existence which used to be village settlements and protections. So administration came into existence for the village protection. Yes. Fine. So I hope everybody understood this beginning of the settled life. Fine. See you all in the next lecture. Bye everyone.